What's up, family? All right, today we're gonna do our book review on.
Yes.
This book review is gonna be called "In Search of Good Pussy." Now, I gotta tell you about the cover of this book. It's a derogatory, somewhat name. Yes, we know he could have named it something else, but the author, the reason he said he named it that is just as an eye opener for people to grab something off the shelf, something that will grab them right away when they see it. I think he could have named it something else, but this is also a perfect example of when they say, don't judge a book by its cover. Mm-hmm. The book has absolutely nothing to do with thinking that you're going to find a way to get some sex from some woman. No, it has nothing to do with that. Matter of fact, to give you a short story, I remember there was a lady who I used to exchange books with. She was the mother-in-law of a friend of mine. And I remember one book she asked me about, I told her about it, she went out and got it, and she loved the book. Immediately, she contacted me again and said, man, that book was such a good book. She said, you got any other recommendations? She said, matter of fact, give me 2. I gave her 2 recommendations. After the 2 recommendations, let's say a while later, she said, wow, you got some good recommendations. Could you give me another book? And that's when I recommend her this book. Now, here's a funny thing. When I recommend her this book, we did it through a text. And normally she respond back expeditiously, like old boy said on Lean On Me. He said, you smoke crack, don't you, boy? You smoke crack. Don't fuck around with it. Kill yourself. Jump off the roof. Do it expeditiously. Don't fuck around with it. You know, she normally responds back expeditiously, meaning rapidly, quick. But on this time, when I sent her this, she didn't respond back at all. And then when I texted her, I got nothing from her. I said, oh, man, she must have took this like I was being...
Yeah, because that was my same reaction. When he actually bought that book and brought it home, I'm like, what the heck is this book about?
Yeah, why would you get something like that?
Why did you get something like that? But once I start reading it, it caught my eye. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was so amazing.
And I'm proud to say, when I actually was over my dude's house a while later, sometime later, his mother-in-law was there. And I sat with her and I talked with her, and I said these simple words to her. I said, I know the book had a derogatory name. You probably thought some funniness. I said, no, but how about this? How was the books that I referred to you before that? She said, they were stupendous. They was great. I said, see, go on that. I said, don't judge, like the book says. Like I'm telling you, the old axiom, don't judge a book by its cover. Axiom just means accept the truth, like an old saying, somewhat like that. And sure enough, she said, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go look at it. But I had to sit down and explain this to her. And I tell you, when she went and got the book, she called me that same week and said, oh my gosh. Yeah. She said, I feel so foolish. It's exactly what you said. And every book you gave me is like lightning. It's incredible. She loved this book. And I was glad that she let down the defense of thinking it was something that it wasn't. But it's like I said, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, it's too many different stories. And trust me, if you
each
get the
chapter
chance,
got like 2 or 3 pages.
That's all each chapter.
Yeah,
2, 3 pages, maybe 4. It's only like one chapter got like 9 pages, but most chapters like 3, 4 pages. That's it. And each chapter you could spend hours
that's what I'm getting ready to say.
Talking about each chapter.
Yeah, when you start reading that book, you got so much to talk about somebody about it, because there's so much to talk about, and it's be interesting conversations too.
Mm-hmm. So who wants to start off?
Jay.
The first chapter that I read was called Too Many Girlfriends, and I started reading it because I immediately thought it was about a man being unfaithful and him having too many girlfriends. So when I started reading it, immediately as soon as I started reading it, immediately I realized that it was the total opposite. It was about a woman having too many girlfriends, not a man. Mm-hmm. And when he said that, the first quote that he said in there was, women are dangerous. So of course you say to yourself, how are women dangerous? And he gave the example of they can meet in the ladies' room, exchange numbers, become the best of friends, and before you know it, they all know your business. Mm. So the main part of this chapter was that they influence each other's decisions. So having a girlfriend in your ear all the time telling you what you should do with your relationship, and their relationship isn't even going well, is a terrible thing. It's the worst thing you can do. And that's how most relationships fail. Mm-hmm. Another quote that was in here was Misery Loves Company, which we all know and are familiar with. And he said, women who do not have a good relationship will make sure that you don't have one either, which is also really true.
And then you know what? Those are things why me and Mommy had such a stupendous, great relationship. Because Mommy don't do all the girlfriends crap and all this. I gotta hang out, gotta do it with my girlfriends. Oh, my girlfriend.
Take pictures of your butt.
Oh, thank you. A lot of women always with the on the internet. They take this butt pictures. Ooh, my butt pictures. Look at the head. Like, come on, what is this? Always, you need that. You starving for that much attention, and then you do it because you see your girlfriends do it. Ooh, she got such and such likes. Ooh, I want to do it because I want to get a lot of likes. I could give a damn about likes. You're not paying my bills. You're not even helping me move a dresser from the first floor to the second floor. Knock it off.
Yeah, but are you finished?
No.
Go ahead.
Okay, so it says, hearing you talk about how wonderful your man is boring. But talking about a new man is exciting and filled with expectations, because it's like when you're talking to somebody new.
You said that's what the girlfriends expect.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about positive stuff is corny to them.
Exactly. So when you're talking to a new guy, it's like you have expectations for them. So you're like, anything he does is you don't have to deal with that. And he said that girls would rather say, I wouldn't take that from that man than I wish I had a man like yours.
Mm-hmm.
So lastly, it was saying mothers can also be one of those girlfriends who spend too much time with her nose buried in your business.
Ooh.
So immediately when I read that, I thought of the movie Not Easily Broken.
That's a good point.
With Morris Chestnut and Taraji P. Henson.
Mm-hmm.
It was about how her and her husband, they've been together for a minute, and he started messing around with this one lady. So instead of dealing with the situation and talking to him and having a conversation with him, she was just ignoring him, not talking to him, didn't want to talk about it, just wanted to leave. And
listen to the
she
mother.
had her mother right in her ear, just influencing her. You don't have to deal with that. Leave him. Take all his money and everything. And then towards the end, she realized, like, I need to stop listening to you because you're single and you got left. Yep. So I need to think this rationally and know I love my man and I want to make this work.
And that goes back to even before you read the book. Remember, I had this conversation with y'all many times in the past where I've said, when you are in a relationship, especially if you got kids, you know what? Even if the man had cheated on you. Now, and do not misinterpret what I'm saying, because I'm not saying it's okay for a man to cheat. No, that is not good if he's out there cheating. And that's one of the chapters in there too, mm-hmm. Why men cheat. But we'll do that on part 2, because we're going to do a part 2 to this book, because there's so much information. But remember, I had the conversation with y'all where I said, especially if you got kids, it deserves a mature sit down and conversation. Mm-hmm. Now, we know last week you just keyed up his car, flattened his tire. You did all kind of silly stuff. Some of you women do that. Y'all get foul out of the mouth and all kind of silly crap, and you think you're going to tear the man's car up because the car means everything to some of these silly men. But after that's done, next week, especially if you got kids, it deserves and it warrants a mature conversation, because you're going to affect your children. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need to sit down and y'all, maybe you could even help him through his childish ways. And maybe a good woman definitely can. She will help him realize
some take each other's relation to therapy.
Yes.
Even though.
But listen to your silly girlfriends. You need to leave him. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
You need to sit down, have a mature conversation without all the yelling and all that crap. Trust me, you'll come to a better conclusion than when you were angry.
Yeah. Besides all of that, you have to find the right people around you, because if you find the negative, mm-hmm. that's going on one apple, it's around with bad apples, it becomes bad.
Because yep. Just imagine if y'all going through something and then you feel like, oh, let me tell my girls what my man did to me, then they gonna start telling you, oh, just leave him, like y'all have a whole family trying to work things out. No one's saying being dumb and keep accepting him to keep cheating on you. Now that's the difference between being dumb.
And I touched on that on another video we got. If you haven't seen, just type in Spinks, the conspiracy to destroy black boys, and we touched on that. It was a long video, but very powerful, like most.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, but you know, in this book, it actually it's very specific about black men and black women. But in my situation, the way I look at it, I delete this black thing. And it just no, I just think the black, and it's actually for everyone, including Spanish,
now you're right.
Asians,
you're right.
Asians,
you're absolutely
and
right.
all that.
And I just took that as
it's a strong message for everyone.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you'll agree, because that's a great point. He labeled everything as black. Why black men cheat? Why black men do this? Why black do that? Why black men don't cry? Black this. When it could refer to anybody, but I'm just going to go out there on a limb and say, I assume what makes sense why he labeled everything black this and black that, because he's a black writer. Yeah. And these are he actually says in here, These are his actual life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he labeled everything black is black. But trust me, it don't matter what ethnicity you are. I guarantee you this book would definitely touch something within you that you can definitely relate to.
Exactly.
I read a couple, but like one of them I read. Let me start the one that I really liked out of author was like "Do Black Men Cry?" So, in today's society, for a very long time, you know, generation over generation, they have this title for black men that they can't have emotions because once they show their emotions, oh, he's weak. Oh, he's not a man. He's a little boy because he can't own up to real life problems. Like, and you know, it's just sad because it says when black men do cry, they don't talk about it, and that's a problem with most black men. Just not, like I said, not just all black men, but all men. If you guys don't talk about it, you know, you're sitting back like, oh,
They keep stuff bottled up.
yeah, and it's like you sitting there like you're thinking like, oh, if I cry out for help, nobody's gonna listen to me, or they're gonna think like I'm a wuss or anything, and it's just like it sucks because you guys are like in a rock and a hard place.
And we see men will be quick to say, "Oh, women are so soft, this and that." But the fact of the matter, men keep stuff so bottled up, and like they say, pressure busts pipes, and you never know what another man is going through. You need to let that out sometimes. Someone loving you can talk to, rather it's your kids, your woman, whatever. But you're right. Even from a child, men are taught, little boys are taught, boy, you better not cry. You know, like I would have my older brothers or uncles punch me in my chest.
Say what you said mommy said to you.
Oh, I'm getting to that. They'd punch me in my chest, for example, right? And then say, boy, you got a bird chest. Boy, look at the boy with a little bird chest. Man, I'm 4 years old. Of course I got a bird chest. What you talking about? And then say, boy, you better not cry. Don't cry. You better not cry. Only sisters cry.
That's really sad.
And see, we get this from a child.
I don't think that is the right way to train your children.
You're right.
To give that kind of love. That is not kind of love
but
for
this,
me.
this how boys are raised. Don't cry. Don't let your feelings out. And it hurt. You need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And they also say like in society's mind, black men are genuinely incapable of any emotion except anger. And see, right there, it's not fair because they're already setting a level of like men can't show emotions or what.
Ooh, now that's what you're talking about. I'm gonna give y'all something personal here. This was years ago. Now y'all know me and mommy, we go through our things just like anybody, but you know, it's genuine love. It's just that when you're with somebody long enough, you know what buttons to press.
Yeah.
You know what to say to piss me off. I know what to say to piss you off. But you know, and you know how y'all women get sometimes. Y'all be real foul out the mouth and say stuff like, "Oh, you faggot. Oh, you stupid ass. Oh, you your little dumb ass. You know, you the one that's stupid." And you might even say, "Oh, with your little penis." You know, all kind of dumb stuff just to piss the guy off, right? But that was nothing. The thing that my wife said years ago, referring back to that chapter you read, was this simple thing here. I said some offensive things to her. She said some offensive things to me. But then she capped it off with this saying, "Oh, but you know what, babe? What I said to you, it don't mean nothing because you're a man. You can deal with it." Yo, that hurt my feelings. Like, you basically saying to me, I don't matter. My feelings don't matter. I'm not supposed to have feelings. And, you know, like, what? But I got to admit, we sat down, like I said, we had a mature conversation when we weren't arguing. And you apologized for it, and you never seen it that way. You was like, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah,
and that was cool, and I appreciate that we was able to talk.
And I still do apologize, sweetheart, because
cool.
Papito, you know what? Sometimes we need to sit back and be careful what we say. Sometimes it lets up a fire, and then it's hard to turn it off. But baby, I'm serious. I'm so
but it's
sorry.
great to talk.
Yeah,
a lot of people out there don't talk.
Yeah,
you keep stuff bottled up, and then this would be the person out here and snap. And road rage or wherever else or whatever the job, all because he's not talking. You need to let this out. Men are always keeping stuff bottled in. Yeah. But I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just piggyback off of that is just like when a black man finally speaks up to another black man, put you guys' pride aside, it's like you guys feel free. Like, oh, you're relating to the same thing. That's just so much weight taken off. Because like you guys can express each other's feelings. Maybe you might, guys wouldn't really cry to each other, but it's just the fact of you knowing another person's going through it and you're not scared to express like, yo, I've been going through something. It's just knowing that each other got each other's back. Yeah. And it was just saying like, do black men cry every day? But when when it comes down to relationships, any man wants a woman that can hear him out, who can see his soft side that he doesn't want to show to the whole world. And when he could come home to that, it's just like, make sure like every man needs a woman that could help him express his feelings.
And it's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's nothing wrong at all.
Right.
So, right,
Okay.
Jada?
Okay, well, as Ashley was saying, to piggyback off what she said about a man needing a woman and everything, another chapter that I read, it was called Loneliness is a Form of Mental Illness. So I never thought about it that way before. I just thought, some people would rather be alone, and some people just family people and like to be around people and are sociable. So what it was saying about men that are unmarried, their death rates are higher. Same thing with women. Married women were generally healthier and missed fewer days of work because they had a family and because they had a husband to come home to every day. So loneliness is a lingering feeling that leads to despair and even self-hatred sometimes. So just coming home from work, like as my dad comes home from work every day, like of course as soon as we hear the door unlock, our mom tells us like, daddy's home, so we come downstairs and we greet him with hugs and kisses because it's a thing of being happy. Like, I live with people. I live with my family. Like, my family is here. And to come home from work and not have that, like, that eats inside of you every single day.
And see, guys that act like, oh, I'm single. I love being single. That's bullcrap. They claim that, but that's why they got to try to date 100 damn women.
Trying to look for that one woman.
Yeah.
Well, we all need somebody in life.
And it's a great, it's a great thing when you come home and your loved ones are here. Ooh. People that genuinely love you.
I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say when you just said everybody's looking for that one person, and it falls into the category of another chapter I read called That One Woman. It's always that one woman that every man dreams of, that perfect. First of all, there's no such thing as a perfect woman, but you guys always dream about that one person that you hope that can live with the rest of your life, that can.
And I love his artwork. Like, he drew a lot of silly artwork in here. This was the one that Jada talked about. Loneliness. Loneliness is a form of mental illness. I love the artistry work in here. It's really good. There's some other funny ones I'm going to show y'all too. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, like, any man wants a woman that gives them that heart-throbbing passion, a weakness, your lust, dependency, exhilaration, love, and even oneness. Like, when you're with her, you discover everything that you thought that you didn't even have. Like, when you have a great woman, she could point out your flaws that you didn't even think that was possible. Like, referring to that movie that Cicely Tyson, Medea, and she was like, let's see if you can act the reenactment.
that is very,
he was like,
very good dramatic.
my husband was just like, when I breathe, he breathe. But I'm doing it wrong, so of course.
All right, let me go. Because see, the acting skills is kind of low over here. All right, this is because I love Cicely Tyson. All right, it was the part where the lady said, oh, I feel sorry for you lost your husband. She said, oh, no, honey, child, don't fret for me because I had the chance to love. And when you had a chance to love, it's wonderful. She said, I tell you, it was times when I would say something and he would finish my sentences. Ooh, sometimes it just used to make me mad, mad. And one day I was put my head on his chest and I was listening to his heartbeat, and then I realized it was the same heartbeat as mine.
Oh,
it's so I love Cicely Tyson.
Go ahead, award.
When you have that one
That's
woman.
Because you're jealous. You're jealous, dog. You're jealous.
It's just like when you sit back and think, like when you have that one woman that doesn't care about the partying, that don't care about the mansions, the Mercedes, your bank, how big your bank account is. It's just like she pointing out all your flaws. And something that really made me really like more about this chapter, it was that one woman is the indescribable woman who touches a warm, soft spot in your heart that no one else can ever reach. She is a sexual and emotional live wire to your very soul.
Yes.
Alone is truly exciting, vibrant, at the same time she's intriguing and mysterious. She's vital, she's real, and her beauty is both external and internal. She's the most complete woman you will ever know.
Yes, and that's what I got.
Your woman is very your
right.
woman has to be very unique. Someone that you don't ever see like, oh, I'll trade my woman for another woman.
What was that chapter called?
That One Woman.
Nice.
That was a good one. How about you, Ben?
The one that I really like, I mean, I like basically just about some of them because I haven't read all of them. Because the book is great. But the one that I actually liked was the one that said what men want and need. And it actually tells you about a man that needs somebody to be next to him.
That was the artistry work in the one she just said. That one woman. You do got women out there that got skills in every
Yes.
department. You're like, wow, she's
Exactly.
incredible.
Yes.
But go ahead.
But it says what men want and need is it's they want so much and be able. The main thing that they really want is understanding, compassion, be able to love them just like they love you as a man. And if they need to just cry on their shoulders and let them be.
And see, I love what else you said. Let a man lead, because that was the foundation of civilization anyway. Let a man lead, but there was a time when women led everything. But back to your point, let a man lead, right? There's times when you lead, and I just let you lead. I give you a prime example. Remember many years ago when y'all was in elementary school, how I was so-called teaching y'all with y'all homework, right? Especially with the math. And when y'all was getting stuff wrong, I was horrible. I was educated, but I was horrible at having emotions. And the way I was teaching you, I was like, "What, you don't get it? How many times I gotta tell you? It's just what it is right here. You got it wrong again." I was constantly like yelling at y'all.
That was called impatience.
There you go.
You know, he didn't have much patience.
And
but
you helped me with that, because as horrible as I was, I didn't realize I had a problem.
Yeah.
And that was how I was teaching, because that's the sorry ass way I was taught. You know, yelling at me and all that. But you pulled me to the side and you was like, "Babe, you know, you got to do better than that, because my father," you was talking about yourself. You said your father was horrible like that, teaching you like that, yelling at you with the belt.
Oh, he would smack us if we didn't get it right.
So I was happy that you put me to the side and you said, "Babe, you got to do better. You can't be teaching like that." And I took your advice, because you was leading at this point. I had no problem letting you lead, just like you let me lead. And at that point on, I said, I'm going to change a different way of teaching them. I started talking to y'all more calmly and more informative, using money, using toys, different ways to get through to y'all. And then when it all worked, I realized I had to give mommy a lot of grace and thanks for that. But then I still had to be silly about it. Now that y'all was getting it and y'all was understanding everything great, I still just say, "All right, now that y'all got it and the homework is over, how about, was I like this?" Just now I'm going to yell at y'all for no reason, just because I didn't realize I was that bad. But I got to thank mommy for all of that.
Yeah. Jay, what was you saying though? You said that there's a difference between leading and controlling.
Oh yeah, because I was adding on to what you had said when you said that you let the man lead and everything.
Oh,
remember?
Okay.
Remember?
Yes.
You said, okay. No, I just said that I personally would never want a man to feel like he's controlling me or anybody in my family, of course. But there's a difference between controlling and letting the man lead, and he's supposed to be a man for a reason, and you have to let him be that man instead of trying to wear the pants in their relationship and feel like, "No, I'm bossing my man around," because the part of a family is building a foundation together.
Yes.
Yeah, because really, honestly, all women out there, including as myself, we all know that that's the normal way of doing things.
Yes.
A man is the head of the household.
Yes.
You gotta allow him to lead, make the choice. But if you have a man that making stupid decisions and all that, you have a right to step in. But at the same time, you have to allow them to do their job. Then that's what's called the head of the household.
Yeah.
Right?
And
I mean, that's what I believe. That's what I've been taught. That's how I see my mother, my great-great-grandmother doing that. Everybody. And I think
do me a
it's the
favor.
normal
Find
way.
that chapter for me. I'm going to do the one, Black Families, No Hugs and Kisses. Find that for me. Because I want to show you the art. I just love the artistry work in it. Now, I'm going to speak on the one that I read the whole book a lot of years ago. But, you know, I just don't remember the page. But this is called, it says, Black Families, No Hugs and Kisses. Now, like I said, this applies to any family. It's just that he put black in it because he's black and these are his experiences. But I definitely could relate when he said the Black Families, No Hugs and Kisses. This is just a little artistry work with that. You know how you get a lot of men go, "Oh, I got to go to work. I'm with the fellas." Always never around. Like, yo, that's ridiculous. Always got an excuse why you never around with your family. Like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. But the theory behind why he said Black Families, No Hugs and Kisses, I thought was amazing when I read this. He basically had stemmed it back to slavery. Now, I know some of you out there is going to say, "Oh, man, come on, black people need to let it go, man. Y'all always bringing up slavery." You're damn right we bring up slavery. Because you got to think, where did all this stem from? When an alcoholic got alcoholic problems, right, he gets help. He go to Alcoholics Anonymous and gets help, sometimes psychological help. Yeah. When a drug addict got problems, what? He gets help. You know, and that's how he gets better. You know, when an abusive person is abusing somebody in the family, they go get help. The government provides them for help. Thank you. When these jokers come back from war, you know, they got post-traumatic syndrome. They get help. But when slavery was so-called over, black people never got help. We was promised 40 acres and a mule, didn't get it. Even the Asians and the Jews, they got all help. When they, after Pearl Harbor and all that, and they put all the Asians in quarantine, they eventually got help. Everybody got help. Black people never got help. So then people want to be out there and say, oh man, y'all need to let this slavery stuff go. How the hell you going to let it go when you sat there and watch your mother, your sister, your father be sold off, raped, whatever, beat, killed, and never got help? So that's what he stemmed it back to. Where basically what he was saying was that the no hugs and kisses come from where the man will watch his woman, his family be raped, murdered, abused, limbs chopped off right in front of his face, and there was nothing he could do about it. So therefore, after a while, that man learned to build up a wall and not get too attached, because he never knew if the next day these people would be going through some type of harm that he could do nothing about. And I thought that was amazing. That I never
and that's
looked
something
at.
That's unfortunately passed down. Like
Yes.
learning from there, it's just like you don't want to show too much affection because the person that you love is going to be snatched tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But in this day and age, we're not dealing with the slavery stuff, so that's why.
I mean, we still are doing.
To some degree, it's
Not
unfair
say
this
that.
stuff going on because you got just hateful people in the world. So but still, you got to be stronger, educate yourself, and break those cycles of the negative stuff from the past.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Yeah, you read some other stuff on it, didn't you? Because I definitely got. What's the one where I told you that I love that art she worked with the women.
Oh,
Yeah, one of
Teaching
the,
her kid. I did black role models as well.
Thank you.
That we need more black role models on the streets, in the schools, because nowadays talking about it in like school textbooks. We don't talk about kings and queens. We don't talk about all the negative. I was about to curse. Negative stuff around, and it's just like blacks who are labeled. Like in the book, it said that blacks who are labeled animals and excluded from society are expected to understand social codes of behavior, even though socialization learned or by being socialized. So, for example, like young black boys who have not been housebroken, that has not been taught. That has not been taught to like become better.
Oh, it goes back to that video we did, the conspiracy. I know you bugging. But no, it goes back to that video we did, the conspiracy. If you didn't see it, just go to my YouTube channel, Spinks, the conspiracy to destroy young black boys. That's what you're getting at.
Yeah. And it's just like black boys need good teachers on and out the streets, because
And the government do a good job at not putting role models out there. Don't want them to see the greatness you really come from. So they make it that you don't see that. So therefore, what do they see? The drug dealer, the knucklehead
the
in
streets,
the
they
neighborhood.
just see the streets, and
and this
y'all
what they
think,
vote for.
Y'all really think like the streets gonna love you, but once you get locked up, are those streets gonna help you
They
get
don't
out?
give a damn about you. No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't be afraid to show your feelings, your true feelings.
And also, you gotta remember, white America doesn't want us to believe that we have black role models. Like black people as a community, we're vital to each other.
Yes.
So if we all stick together and push one another, then you know how much we can overcome.
That's one of the last chapters where it says, you know, like what we do. We read all the book together. We have this is our own little book club because we don't rely on other people. Other people love to make excuses. I can't stand excuse makers. But that's one of the chapters where it says families, you talk, brothers and sisters, talk to each other. Talk to your mother. Talk to your aunt. Talk to your father. If you don't have a matriarch or patriarch in the family, then find someone, your uncle, someone. Find someone to talk to, because you need it's a form of therapy to talk to loved ones. And I love that he put all this in a book. Here's a chapter I'm going to do. It's called "What Black Men Think Black Women Want and Need." I thought the cartoon artistry was hilarious. You see that? That's just ridiculous. I thought that was funny how he drew that. Let me show y'all a close up of that. You got some real angry looking woman right there, and she's going on and on where she got these young girls sitting down like they're in class, and she's just teaching them nothing but negative crap. Such as in here, she on the chalkboard saying, "Don't give it up to them. Don't give it up to him. Don't cook for him. Get his check. Keep your check. Listen to all your girlfriends." And that's like what you did, right? The girlfriend stuff. See, when you start listening to all your girlfriends, they're going to be the ones that go, "Oh, girl, let's go to..."
Cause your relationship in shambles.
Yes, let's go to the club, girl. Let's turn it up. Let's go on the internet and take a whole bunch of butt pictures. This is stupid. We taking all these butt pictures. Ooh, girl. Ooh, girl. And guess what? The more you do that, you know what's going to happen? Your young daughter This is what she's seeing. Mommy's always turning it up at the club, almost never home. All her pictures is with her girlfriends. I'm barely never in your pictures. Mommy got more and more butt pictures. Guess what? She's going to be an influence. She's going to be an image of you growing up. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to waste my time like I know don't do anymore. Tell you don't do that. Keep doing it because this is what you shouldn't be doing, but you're going to do what you want to do. I could just advise you, you want to read a good book that will touch on a touch of reality with you is this.
Actually it does. And really just we got to respect each other's feelings. Let the man once again lead. Let them lead. Let them do their job. Huh?
No, I'm talking to you.
Let them lead. Let them lead. Let them do their job because that's why. For most people that are religion, they actually this is what they teach us. Mm-hmm. That man is the head of the household. Mm-hmm. They are supposed to guide us and protect us.
Yeah, like I said, it's a great book. I assure you, if you get this book, you can sit there with your girlfriends, your dudes, or whatever. If you made time, it's 24 hours in a day. People can make time, but people love to make excuses.
You didn't mention about that guy with the cookout.
Oh, that's a great example because that stems back to like stuff we're saying, like people with the excuses. And like we always say in this house, we don't make excuses, we make results. Because it's 24 hours in a day. There's no reason for people to be making excuses, but people love, whenever you ask someone for commitment with something, the first thing they always blame it on the females in the family. Oh, my grandmother's sick. Oh, my mother's sick. Oh, my wife's sick. Oh, my daughter's sick. And then when that don't go, oh, my job. They all kind of excuses. Well, let me give you a prime example. And, for example, I try to make it as best as short as I could. This actually happened to us. Many years ago, a buddy of mine had gave me like 3 months notice about a cookout he was having.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And he lives in Old Bridge. So, boom. Old Bridge, New Jersey. So now, we definitely going because he came to our functions. Exactly. It's only right. You be respectful. You don't make excuses. Oh, man, this came up. My grandmother came in town. Nah, come on. Even if grandma did come in town the day of that cookout, I'm sure grandma would be disappointed at you if she knew that you was using her name just because you're irresponsible and you refuse to be responsible to someone that was respectful to you, that you don't know how to show it back. But anyway, buddy gave me 3 months notice advance about his cookout. We definitely going. 2 weeks before his cookout came, another buddy of mine that lived in the Bronx had asked me to come to his cookout, and the dude definitely came to our stuff. So I definitely had to show respect back to him. But then I said, yo, my man, come on, you gonna tell me 2 weeks before your cookout, really, man? But I got respect for the dude because he got respect for me. So I told him, I said, listen, all right, man, I'm gonna have to do it. I got something else. You tell me something at the last minute. So you know what I did? Instead of telling the dude, I couldn't be there. I said, I'll make my presence be felt. So what I did, that night before, went to Walmart, I bought at least a bare minimum about 15 cases of soda. I bought 10 bags of ice. I bought a whole bunch of mosquito spray. I bought cloths for his tables and all that. I bought a bunch of stuff. 6:30 in the morning, I got on that highway, went over to the Bronx, knocked on my man's door, 7 in the morning. Yo, my man, he just wiping the sleep out of his eye. But like I told him, I said, nah, man, like I said, you told me this at the last minute. But, I got respect for you. So, you know what? I'm not going to be able to make it. However, I bought you some stuff, and I hope y'all appreciate this. So put on some shoes, come out and help me in the car and bring this stuff in. And he was blown away about how much stuff I brought him. Not just the stuff, but that I took the time to come out his way that early and get stuff prepared for him. He was happy. His wife was blown away like, that's rare, man. People normally don't do that. Normally, like she said, people just say, oh, I was busy. I had something else to do. I couldn't make it. He said, but yo, your friend didn't do that, man. I got nothing but respect for that guy. Now, and it was like later that night he called me, the next week, the next month, him and his wife over and over just kept thanking me for doing that for them. And meanwhile, that same day, we went to the cookout in Old Bridge. Yeah. But see, our presence was felt in the Bronx, even though we wasn't there. And we went to the other one. Because there's no way we was going to make both of them. They too far apart. And then on top of that, that New York traffic is ridiculous. Yes, but see, this is what a lot of y'all do. Y'all make all these excuses. So like I said, even if grandma came from down south or a family, your mother's sick, whatever the case may be, I'm sure your mother would be disappointed with you if you use her as an excuse. because you're an irresponsible person. Stop making excuses, especially for people that built bridges for you to cross. And now you burn those bridges.
Right.
And now you want to be like, man, I don't know why such and such bugging, man. He tripping. I think he's jealous. Nah, stop it. You the one with the problem.
Exactly.
But other things y'all want to speak about in here?
No.
Already? We got so much to talk about here.
Well, that's why we're doing a part 2 later.
Yeah, we definitely got to do a part 2 because
I mean, you could just go on all night about it. Honestly, that book.
oh, the
is
materialistic thing you mentioned.
The mansions. I already said that.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so like I said, really good book. You will love this book, and it has nothing to do with the title. Trust me, it does not. I gave you the story in the beginning how the lady thought that and she didn't want to get it, but then when she actually read it, she was blown away.
Yeah.
You know, like Mike Tyson. I was ecstatic about the book. That's how she was. She was like, yo, I was ecstatic. Like, yo, it was incredible. So, trust me, go out and get yourself a good book. Read one with your family. This will definitely give y'all something to talk about. And hey, enjoy. Love ourselves, right?
Yes,
Love
love
being
always,
us. Peace.
always.
Go get a good book. Peace, family.
Peace.